Oh, I can see me. Hi, everyone, and Happy New Year to you all. Unfortunately, I hurt my hand today. It looks worse than it actually is, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to get through this session successfully, but bear with me. This is a time of year which, of course, looks both ways, back towards the past and forward to the future. At my age, I find myself more and more drawn to the past, and today's songs reflect that in a kind of sentimental journey through the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. I started playing the guitar around 1956 when the arrival of skiffle music made it possible for anyone, absolutely anyone, to turn their hand to music. And here are 3 songs from that era, all with just 3 chords, and of course all in the same key of E. That was the first intro I ever learned to the song called Jesse James. I'll do it again. Jesse James was a man who killed a man. He robbed the Glendale train. He stole from the rich, he gave to the poor. He had a head and a heart and a brain. Now poor Jesse had a wife to mourn for his life. 3 children, they were so brave. But a dirty little coward came and shot Mr. Howard and laid Jesse James in his grave. It was on a Friday night, the moon was shining bright. He robbed the Glendale train, and the people from miles about all said without a doubt it was robbed by Frank and Jesse James. Now poor Jesse had a wife to mourn for his life. 3 children, they were so brave. But a dirty little coward came and shot Mr. Howard and laid Jesse James in his grave. Well, the people held their breath when they heard of Jesse's death. They wondered how the poor boy came to die. Was a member of his gang called Dirty Robert Ford, came and shot Jesse James on the sly. Now poor Jesse had a wife to mourn for his life. 3 children, they were so brave. But a dirty little coward came and shot Mr. Howard and laid Jesse James in his grave. So Jesse James, that was from, I guess, around about 1957, 58, and just imagine me, 17, playing in a skiffle band. Another song we used to sing at that time was The Midnight Special. This is a wonderful song attributed to the great Leadbelly. It refers to a prisoner's experience sitting in a lonely prison cell in the dark of night, seeing the room illuminated by the headlights of a oncoming railway express, midnight special. And of course, that brought back memories of home and freedom. Leadbelly himself, of course, knew what that experience was all about. He served 2 prison sentences, and this song very much reflects part of that experience. You wake up early in the morning, hear the great bell ring. You go marching to the table, see the same damn thing, knife and fork are on the table, nothing in my pan. But if I complain about it, I'm in trouble with the man, and the midnight special shining light on me. And the midnight special shine his ever-loving light on me. If you ever go to Houston, boy, you better walk right, and you better not stagger, and you better not fight, or the sheriff, he'll arrest you, he'll carry you down, and the judge will find you guilty, you're penitentiary bound. Oh, the midnight special shining light on me, and the midnight special shines its ever-loving light on me. Well, jumping little Julie was a mighty fine gal, and Julie brought jumping to this whole wide world. Well, she brought it in the morning, just a while for the day, and she brought me the news that my wife was dead. That started me to grieving, and grieving to crying, as I began thinking about my great long time, and the midnight special shining light on me, and the midnight special shine his ever-loving light on me. Oh, the midnight special shining light on me. Oh, the midnight special shine his ever-loving light on me. Midnight Special. My third song from the 50s is more of a pop song than a folk song, and it was written by Johnny Horton and sung by Johnny Horton. It's called Johnny Reb. It's a celebration of the role of the Deep South in the Civil War, and it always struck a chord with me, and my sympathies sadly have always been with the South. Saw you were marching with Robert E. Lee, held your head up high trying to win the victory, fought for your folks, you didn't die in vain, even though you lost, they speak highly of your name, 'cause you fought all the way, Johnny Reb, Johnny Reb, fought all the way, Johnny Reb. Saw General Lee raise a saber in his hand, heard the cannons roar as you made your last stand. You marched into battle with the gray and the red. When the cannon smoke cleared, it took days to count the dead, but you fought all the way, Johnny Reb, Johnny Reb, fought all the way, Johnny Reb. When Honest Abe heard the news about your fall, folks thought he'd call a great victory ball, but he asked the band to play the song Dixie for you, Johnny Reb, and all that you believe, 'cause you fought all the way, Johnny Reb, Johnny Reb, fought all the way, Johnny Reb. Yeah, you fought all the way, Johnny Reb, Johnny Reb. Fought all the way, Johnny Reb. Johnny Reb. From the 1960s, I've chosen a few Dylan numbers and one by Leonard Cohen. I should point out before I continue that the guitar I'm playing today comes from that very same era. It's an Epiphone Texan, which saw the first light of day, I guess, in about 1963. It's one of my favorite guitars, and Bob Dylan may have used something similar on his track, Blowing in the Wind, from the 1963 album, Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. So I'll sing a track from that, Blowing in the Wind. I hope that Sebastian is listening, Fiona. Here we go. How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? And how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? And how many times must a cannonball fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? And how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? And how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? And how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? And how many times can a man turn his head and pretend he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. 2 years later, of course, Dylan was moving in quite a different musical direction with Highway 61 Revisited, when he went all electric, if you remember. Here's the title track from that album, which is a hymn, if you like, to the Freedom Road, Highway 61, which ran from the Deep South to Chicago. Highway 61 Revisited. Well, God told Abraham, kill me your son. Abe says, man, you must be putting me on. God says no. Abe says what? God says you can do what you want, Abe, but the next time you see me coming, you better run. Abe says, where you want this killing done? God says, out on Highway 61. Georgia Sammy had a bloody nose. Welfare department wouldn't give him no clothes. He asked Paul Howard, where can I go? Howard says, well, I think I know. George says, tell me quick, I gotta run. Old Howard just pointed with his gun. that way down to Highway 61. Now Mac the Finger told Louis the King, I got 40 red, white, and blue shoestrings, 1,000 phones that just won't ring. Tell me how I could get rid of these things. Louis said, let me think for a minute, son. Then he said, I think it can be done. Take it all down to Highway 61. Now the fifth daughter on the 12th night told the first father things ain't right. My complexion, she said, is much too white. He said, come in here, stand in the light, and said, you're right. Better tell the second mother this has been done. But the second mother and seventh son were both out on Highway 61. Now the roving gambler, he was very bored, trying to create a next world war. Found a promoter, nearly fell off the chair, said, I never done this kind of thing before. But yes, I think it can be easily done. We'll take some bleachers out in the sun and have it on Highway 61. We'll put some bleachers out in the sun and have it on Highway 61. Highway 61. Moving on now to 1967, we find Dylan returning to his acoustic roots with the album John Wesley Harding, and the standout track from that, of course, All Along the Watchtower. I think my hands are standing up right. I hope so. It's a bit sore. Here we go. There must be some way out of here, said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, can't get no relief. Businessmen, they drink my wine, plowboys dig my earth. None of them is on the line or knows what it is worth. All along the watchtower, all along the watchtower. No need to get excited, the thief he kindly spoke. There are many here among us who fear life is but a joke. You and I, we've been through that. This is not our fate. Let us not talk falsely now. The hour is getting late. All along the watchtower, all along the watchtower, all along the watchtower, princes kept the view, while all the women came and went, barefoot servants too. sight in the distance, a wildcat did growl. Two riders were approaching, the wind began to howl. All along the watchtower, all along the watchtower, all along the watchtower. I'll finish this visit to the 60s with a Leonard Cohen song, That's No Way to Say Goodbye. I'm particularly fond of this song since it came to me in the form of a record given to me by my pupils at a school where I was teaching at the time. It brings back many happy memories. Well, I loved you in the morning, your kisses sweet and warm, in your hair upon the pillow like a sleepy golden storm. Many loved before us, I know we are not new in city and in forest. They smile like me and you, but now it's come to distances both of us must try. Your eyes are soft with sorrow, hey, that's no way to say goodbye. I'm not looking for another as I wander through my time. Walk me to the corner, our steps will always rhyme. You know my love goes with you as your love stays with me. It's just the way it changes like the shoreline and the sea. But let's not talk of love or change, things we can't untie. Your eyes are soft with sorrow, hey, that's no way to say goodbye. I loved you in the morning, your hips and warm, in your hair upon the pillow like a sleepy golden storm. Many loved before us, I know we are not new in city and in forest. They smile like me and you, but now it's come to distances and both of us must try. Your eyes are soft with sorrow, hey, that's no way to say goodbye. no way to say goodbye. So, Leonard Cohen, that's no way to say goodbye. Sorry, I messed up part of that. My fingers were very stiff and I lost control of the pick. Show business. Finally, a couple of classic tracks from the 70s. First of all, Neil Young's After the Gold Rush, and then Don McLean's American Pie. After the Gold Rush was released in 1970, and it still strikes a chord today with its concern for the environment and the apocalypse. Well, I dreamed I saw the knights in armor come, saying something about a queen. There were peasants singing, drummers drumming, the archers split the tree. There was a fanfare blowing to the sun, floating on the breeze. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 1970s. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 1970s. In a burned down basement with a full moon in my eye, I was hoping for a replacement when the sun burst through the sky. There was a band playing in my head, felt like getting high. Thinking about what a friend had said, I was hoping it was a lie. Thinking about what a friend had said, I was hoping it was a lie. Well, I dreamed I saw the silver spaceships flying in the yellow haze of the sun. There were children crying, banners flying around the chosen ones. All in a dream, all in a dream, the loading had begun. Flying Mother Nature's silver sea to a new home in the sun. Flying Mother Nature's silver sea to a new home in the sun. Flying Mother Nature's silver seed to a new home in the sun. So, American Pie now from 1971. Brings back lots of memories. And of course, it is an historical song in its own right, recalling 10 years of American pop history from the day the music died with the death of Buddy Holly. down to the Rolling Stones Altamont concert in California in 1969. Long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew that if I had my chance, I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I delivered. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died. I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love? Do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so. And do you believe in a rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him. Saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes, and I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenager, bronking buck, pink carnation and a pickup truck. But I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. Started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Well, I met a girl who sang the blues, asked her for some happy news, but she just smiled and turned away. And I went down to the sacred store where I'd heard the music years before, but the man there said the music wouldn't play. And in the streets the children screamed, the lovers cried, and the poet dreamed. Not a word was spoken, the church bells all were broken. And the three men I admire the most, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast the day the music died. And they were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. They were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. So there you go, American Pie. Sorry about so much nostalgia. Let me finish by wishing you all the success and happiness in 2019. Let's look forward to a happy year. Maybe I'll even learn some new songs, possibly. Take care now and be happy. See you next week. Bye now. Bye to Fiona. My finger's still very sore. Oh, my finger stood up to it reasonably well. A couple of songs I sort of lost control of the pick, but yeah, it wasn't too bad.